Good Friday, everybody, on this Good Friday. Hope you've got some great plans for Easter with your family and friends, most of all in God's house this coming Easter Sunday. In the meantime, let's look back at the book of Acts and verse 24, and we're going to look at verse 27. It says, when 2 years had elapsed, Felix was succeeded by Pontius Festus, and desiring to do the Jews a favor, Felix left Paul in prison. Felix had one goal as governor, as departing governor, and that was to make man happy, to please people. Something that this verse doesn't describe for us that we need to keep in our mind is that by this point, some real racial tension, even violence, had come into play between the Jews and the Gentiles that were in Caesarea. And Felix had jumped in and into the middle of these struggles and had killed a lot of Jews because of this tension. And so the Jews, being obviously unhappy, they report Felix and tell Nero what Felix had done, and this would have been at the 2-year point after Paul had first appeared before Felix that these events took place. What we see is a sad story on the part of Felix, that once again he has the opportunity to do right. He's for the last 2 years he's had the authority, the ability to set Paul free. Obviously, he didn't think Paul was guilty of anything, or he would have already taken action. But he's kept him in prison for 2 years now. And now, as he is leaving office, being removed from office, he again has the opportunity to do the right thing and to take care of Paul. But obviously, he's more concerned about his personal circumstances, his own power and wealth, and so instead of doing the right thing, he goes out of office and leaves Paul in prison. He makes a serious decision here, and because of that, Felix ends up paying the price for that. Again, Felix is going to be removed from office, and Festus put in his place. And we can only speculate what could have happened, what effects even to this day would be felt had Felix accepted Christ as he listened to Paul, as he heard Paul tell the gospel, and had he accepted Christ and released Paul. Hard to tell what kind of difference that could have made in our world, again, even up to this day, what impact that would have. We can never underestimate the long-term effects of our decisions. What we decide to do with Christ, what we decide to do for Christ, how we decide to live our life either for or against Christ. That's something that we don't understand and know the impact. There's a number of stories of one person, one basically insignificant person telling another basically insignificant person about Christ, and that person accepts Christ and becomes saved, and they go out and tell somebody else that may or may not be insignificant, and it may go 3, 4, 5 times of telling someone that's basically historically insignificant about Christ. And then the right person tells somebody about Christ, and then they go and tell a Billy Graham, or they go and tell a Spurgeon or a Moody or a Charles Stanley about Christ. They accept Christ and then have a tremendous impact. We can never underestimate the impact of our decisions, especially those decisions that involve our relationship with God, our testimony. We can never underestimate the impact that it could have on the lives of others. And so I want to challenge you today as you go out this Easter weekend to keep that in mind. It's difficult to imagine the impact that your life, that your decisions will have. You may be gathered with family, in the yard hunting Easter eggs or eating chocolate candy, and say or do something that either turns someone against God or turns someone to God. You may have a niece or a nephew or a grandchild that's going to be around you this Easter weekend, and you may say or do something that causes that young child to come to know Christ. Maybe not today, but sometime in the future that plants that seed, and then that person, that young child today that's out there, throwing rocks at trees, and you think they're never amount to anything, but you do something or say something that impacts that child's life, and one day they ask Christ into their heart, and they grow up and they become a great missionary, a great evangelist, a school teacher that takes the gospel into the schools and has tremendous impact. We don't know the impact of our decisions. We don't know what could have happened had Felix made a couple different choices than what he made. But we see the negative impact of the decisions he made. We certainly are aware of that. So think about it this weekend. Think about it every day for that matter. How will my choices, how will this decision impact my future and possibly the future of others? Something to think about. Have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow.